Hello there. Anything that takes time, research, and a lot of iteration is definitely worthwhile. My journey into design has taken me different turns, times of imposter syndrome, low self esteem, doubt in my abilities, and the quest for perfection. So today, I will tell you 5 things I wish I knew before starting out in UI and UX. 1. You're never going to figure out everything. I personally still struggle with that notion daily. As a designer or a researcher, there are 2 key things you need to recognize, and that's what I argue. You will never understand everything you need to understand or feel you need to understand, so you have to keep that in mind. Second of all, your designs are never going to be perfect. So that is my advice to you, that you let ambiguity and dissatisfaction drive you in your quest to always make it better. At the same time, don't let it paralyze you into inaction. So it can be a two-edged sword. Number 2, never give up. First, recognize that you're not alone in this struggle. Like I said earlier, anything worthwhile takes time, research, and a lot of iteration. Know what you're good at, own it, and constantly challenge it. For the constraints faced and overcome or overcame will allow you to create your own voice or style and know when and how to apply it. Nevertheless, stay curious, especially on what else is out there. Little tip, take time out of the week to play with things that make you uncomfortable. While genuine confidence in your own capabilities and knowledge is important, having an understanding of your own gaps and blind spots can be just as valuable. Number 3, don't let imperfection stop you from showing your work. Especially in UX, I argue that there is no time and use for perfection. It might work for you, it might work for other people, but in my own argument, there is no time and use for perfection. It will cripple you. Why do I say so? Design is all about approaching problems deliberately with intent. You can't wait for perfect understanding before you begin, because the more you're trying to gather knowledge, the more you're losing because you're not practicing. So you can't let that imperfection keep you from shipping your work. Very important. Number 4, imposter syndrome. For me, experiencing imposter syndrome has pushed me to become a better designer. It's a reminder to keep challenging myself, to recognize that I can always learn more, and to check my privilege along the way. So in my own case, I'm using the imposter syndrome to my own advantage, not letting the fear of never being enough to cripple me, but I let it motivate me and I use it to positively check myself. So in many ways, imposter syndrome is actually a mark of achievement. Part of developing expertise is also developing a more acute awareness of what you don't know, and you don't know everything. Share your knowledge and be receptive to others and their skills. A lot of things you will learn will be through osmosis, so surround yourself with talented people. Number 5, but not the least, seek out criticism. As a designer, you need criticism, not any kind of criticism, but constructive kind. Constructive criticism of your design work is the best way to grow. Learn to seek out criticism and learn from it, but don't take it to heart. iterate on designs where required, and go through the process repeatedly. Receiving criticism is an excellent way to fail fast and develop, and we all want to develop at the end. So, like I said, that was 5, but not the least. But I have one bonus: learn to be a writerholic. When reading up a design, write down what you learn. I do this now, but not enough when I started. When you take notes, things stick better. So I advise that you take down notes of important or useful information while reading an article or studying. The brain is split up into several areas that process all kinds of information differently. Before we write down something, before we write down something, we evaluate the ideas and put them in other information we received previously. This process of doing this and the notes we write help the content stick in our mind better and for longer period of time, which we could summon when we require. So try to be a writerholic. Thank you.